listening to New Roads, New Rules, the podcast where women come together to navigate life's big transitions with honesty, humor, and a whole lot of heart. Here are your hosts, Sandi and Terri. Real women, real talk, and ready to ride.
But you're my bestie for life. Yeah, you're the family I choose. Yeah, the best till the end. We can get through this together.
Hey everyone, welcome back. How are you doing today, Sandi? How
I'm
you feeling?
Great. I'm good. I'm very good.
I hope you
guess.
say that after we're done recording today, because today we're going to talk about getting back out there after years of being married. We're just going to jump right in, okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds great. It's just whatever.
I know. Well, I do want to start out. I want to start out with a disclaimer before we move on. All right. This episode we're talking about does not mean and is not about telling women that they should be dating. Okay.
Right. It's about it's okay to go with your gut if you're not ready. Right.
Right.
I'll be that person and you be on the other side. How's that?
Yes, because I don't want anybody thinking I magically got healed, fell into a healthy relationship. I don't have scars or fear or a lot of internal resistance because, oh my God, I have a shit ton of all of that. So
it's good to hear that because I don't want anyone listening to think, oh, I need to get fixed or I'm wrong or you know what I mean? I don't want them to feel bad about themselves.
No. And you don't need to be fixed. But I want to talk about, we recently spoke about saying yes and having an open mind. So let's talk about it because it is, there are a lot of our listeners who have been married and divorced or out of a relationship or widowed or whatever the circumstances. And now they're jumping back into dating life after being married for many years, right? So, and nobody prepares you for how disoriented it can be after, being single after so many years of being in a relationship.
For sure, especially when your entire adult identity was built inside that relationship. That was my identity since I was 25.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And you're not just learning how to date again, you're learning on who you are without being that wife or that partner or that mom or, everything. I mean, because you develop into a whole new person during those many years of being in that relationship.
Yeah.
And now you find yourself single and you're like, what do I do? Where, so it's about learning about who you are now and who you want to be, because now you're growing into somebody else, right?
Yeah. Dating looked very different when I was 25. I mean, listen, the last time I was single was 1995.
I know.
It was, back in the 1900s.
The 1900s. Let's go back.
Things were different.
Back to the 1900s.
There were not dating apps. They did not exist.
They did not exist. Social rules were different.
Yeah, total. Emotional expectations have changed.
Communication skills, they were questionable.
For sure. And let's be honest, some of it feels embarrassing. Like, why do I have to relearn this? Right? Like, I feel so out of like a fish out of water. Like, this is not... it's almost like I'm all for taking care of myself. Yes, it's the year of yes for me.
Right.
I want to do as much as possible. I want to develop as a person, as a leader, as a friend. You know what I mean? I just want to grow. Do I have to have somebody next to me while I'm doing it? You know what I mean?
So there's a difference there. And that's the key. And again, I have said to myself, the thing that I want to always reiterate to myself is that I want somebody in my life that I want in my life, not because people think I should have somebody in my life. They're going to be in my life because I want you in my life. Right. So that's what, I think that you have to you don't have to have somebody next to you to be all of those things. You can be all of those things on your own.
Right.
And then you choose to have somebody in your life to like join you on the ride, not to make
Right.
you who you are.
Right. So I feel like one of the things I've learned, I've lived by myself for a year, right? And I've I don't even know how to talk about this. I really don't. I feel like I do have those moments where, oh, I would love to discuss this with somebody,
Right.
or I would love to go out and just be like, or, call somebody up and say, hey, let's go have a drink.
Right.
Or,
Come
who
over
am I
for a
going-
booty call.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I guess, right?
Yes. Be honest.
But I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the one to have meaningless relationships.
Right. No, I'm not saying a meaningless relationship, but because I'm not one for like one night stands, like that's never going to happen. Never did, never will.
Right.
For me, sex is something that happens because the relationship outside of the bedroom is really good. If it's not really good, there's no relationship inside the bedroom. So I'm just saying that, you having a good relationship like that, that's good for your life, that will increase the sex portion of it, and it's good,
That's terrifying to think of even. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. In your position. Yes.
Right. And again, everybody's not the same. I understand that. But I've been married. I've only been with one person for the last 30 years.
Right.
So that doesn't sound fun at all. I think it's nerve-wracking and gives me anxiety. And that's how I know I'm not ready.
Right. Well, and also I think that, Sandi, if I'm being honest, like you have to stop thinking about that portion of the relationship. If you're going to be open to a relationship, baby steps to the elevator. You just have to think about being in a relationship, like having camaraderie with somebody, having that person to talk to or share new experiences with, and not think about the sex portion of it, because I think you're throwing the cart before the horse, Yeah. We have vibrators for those things. Like, so you just not worry about that portion of it. Right.
Yeah, really. I don't need a man for that.
No, not until you want the man for that. Right now, you don't need the man for it. You that happens when you want the man for it. So, so let's just, we'll talk about sex this year, but maybe not now, like, cause that is like throwing the cart before the horse. So
yeah, so much.
What surprised you the most about post-marriage life? What do you think surprised you the most about post-marriage life? I
guess I was surprised at how, this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like there was a peace around me that I hadn't had in a while. Like there was a peace, but at the same time, there was loneliness, right? So like I think the duality of it all, that surprised me the most, because I definitely like felt the loss and the loneliness, but also the peace in knowing everything that I do moving forward is mine and my decision, and including like finances, how I'm decorating, what I, just everything, what I eat, you know what I mean? Like I don't have to consult another person, and there's peace in that, because I'm like, all right, well, what do I feel like? Okay. It's an easy decision. Everything's easy. Right.
Well, so I kind of looked at it differently, because I know with ending my marriage, and I'm the one who initiated ending it. And once he left and whatever, you mentioned it as peace. I looked at it as freedom. Like, and I thoroughly enjoyed that freedom. Like the first time, because I had to move, right? So, and I get in here and I'm just like, oh, like, what color should I do this? And I'm like, I don't fucking have to ask anybody. I can put up whatever the fuck I want. And, that is great. Like, it was like thrilling for me. And again, that's, because
I think I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think our difference in looking at that as yours peace and mine is freedom. Although I think you felt freedom is the fact that the way the whole divorce thing was initiated, because you kind of got hit out of left field where I was like, this is done. I'm done.
Right.
We're done.
Well, and let me say another thing about peace, because anybody that knows my ex-husband knows that he talks and he's loud and he talks and he talks and he talks. So like if he disagreed with me about the color of the rug,
right,
that could be an hour-long conversation.
A 2-day long conversation.
So what I mean, yes, there is freedom, but it is peace. And I'm saying that because people that may be listening understand it more than
right. Yeah. It's mine is just freedom, because again, in the end of it, I always felt like I was a prisoner, kind of like in mine, in the situations that throughout our marriage, like I always felt kind of trapped and imprisoned. So it was more of a freedom for me. And I mean, it was great. Yeah. I think that was so liberating for me post marriage and whatnot. But, at the same moment, like what kind of things made you think like, I don't recognize this world anymore?
Oh my God, everything. So
it was the dating apps, like what
everything.
The fuck is this shit?
Well, so I've had, like I've been out and I've talked to men and
I've talked to them. I've talked to the other sex.
But I also feel like that I don't know. It just seems harder. It seems harder because I don't know if it's our age, if it's the pool is not as big as in our 20s. Also, I don't have the energy for it. And so as I'm talking, I'm like, well, I hope this guy don't get the wrong idea. I'm just being nice.
Right.
I also think social media is way different. And
it wasn't existent when we were in our marriages.
Right. And you may get people that reach out on social media knowing that you're divorced and they might still be married. Or they're not available in other ways. And I don't.
Or they are available and you just didn't want anything to do with them to begin with. And now they're reaching out to you. That's happened to me.
Right. I mean, I think there's only been like 1 or 2 guys that are available, that are age appropriate, that have reached out. And I loved having conversations with them, but that's as far as I want that to go right now. Right. So I also don't want to be like, I hope they're not, I don't want to be second guessing. Right.
Right. And I go ahead.
I just want them to understand my intention. So right at the beginning, I do say, I'm not ready to date. I'm not dating.
So, and I think that the right man would be understanding of that and willing to take it slowly. And that's how that's your biggest clue as to, sorting through people.
But these dating apps too, Terry, what?
Oh my God. See, I did try it. I was on it. And I mean, there's a couple guys that I dated from that. But what the hell? Like,
I'm not doing it. I'm not spending money on an app just to get in front of some psychos. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it.
But there are psychos at a bar. Like I let me just make this quite clear. There's psychos everywhere. And you just have to, just like you do in person, like you just have to, this is a good time to overthink it because I'm like, shocks me as to what men think that women want
Yes.
and how they send pictures or
Yeah.
talk to you. Like, this is why you're single, dude. Like,
Right.
this is
I
why
don't
you're
want
single.
any of that. No.
No. And I just want to be clear that I didn't jump back into dating because I was lonely. I jumped back in because I had done some work on myself and I finally trusted myself enough to try to get back into the dating world.
Right.
Again, like for me, which I have said before, like, if I'm dating somebody, it's not because the world thinks I should be dating somebody or I needed a man in my life. I was dating somebody because I wanted them in my life. Like, I think that's a big difference.
It's a huge distinction, right? Super important, because I think as we navigate all of this together, us and the roadies,
Right.
I think it's important to make those distinctions so that you know that you're not doing something you're not ready for, you know?
Right. And I think dating after marriage is completely different than dating back in our 20s. I mean, back then we were dating because we knew we wanted to start a family. We wanted to get married. We wanted, all of that. Now dating, I don't need to be married. I'm not trying to start a new family. I don't want to support somebody, So dating after marriage requires more discernment, not less. It actually requires a little more work because you don't want to take on another child or a child to begin with, I wasn't looking for sparks. I am looking for somebody who I can feel safe with, who's consistent with their feelings. I'm so tired of games and drama. I want a drama-free partner. Like, I don't have the patience for it. And nor should I have to, or any other woman have to, you don't need to, dating requires more work in the front end of it, because in the back end, if you're picky and you do all your work, then the back end should be good emotional regulation, drama-free, easy relationship. Right. And because that's in this stage of life, I don't need any of that shit. I don't want any of that shit. I don't have patience for it.
And also, I mean, I just think it would be nice. This is why I know I'm open to it eventually, is I think it would be nice to have a companion that you can travel with, that you can just go out and have a good time with, and then go to your respective homes and enjoy your peace and your space.
Yes. Your freedom.
Don't necessarily, in our last time I was dating, we were all looking for someone to spend our lives with, to have kids with, to get married. Right. And our priorities have absolutely changed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not looking for any of that. I can't even imagine myself. Listen, we talked about on a previous episode, I've never lived alone ever. Right. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. And I want to have my space and my peace. And I want to be able to do all my beauty routines and lounge around in whatever I want to wear or whatever I want to do, and not have somebody else to take care of or to. No, that sounds mean. So,
no, it's not mean though, but it's not mean. Like, because again, like, I was in a relationship that I ended just like a year or so ago. Right. And it could have been easy to stay in it, but it was more like I was becoming his mother. Like, I don't want that. Like, it's not being mean. Like, I don't want another child to raise. My youngest just turned 21. She's graduating in June. I don't want to pick up another child and start, like, I need somebody who can stand on their own 2 feet and not be big. And not to say that I'm not going to be nurturing to my partner. I think I'm nurturing. But I don't need to wipe your ass when you go to the bathroom.
Right. Also, do you think that guys are looking for that at this age?
Well, he was the last guy, like, there are some. And so, and the thing is I think the hardest thing is, and the thing that I get most aggravated about is, you start a relationship. And so then you talk about me. I am like verbal vomit. Like, I will be upfront and like, blah, blah, blah. This is how I feel. This is, just like I am now. Like, I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not one to, like, because I don't want to waste time. Like, I just don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So this is how I think, I don't want to get married. I don't want to live with anybody. I want somebody who can stand on their own 2 feet, and not that I won't be, there if you need somebody to lean on or whatever, but it's not like, oh, I can't pay my bills, can you pay my bills for me, like it's like stuff like that. But it becomes like that, like, and so like the last one, oh yeah, I totally get it, like they're going to present themselves in the best light, and then all of a sudden one day it's like, no, can you handle this for me, can you do this for me? And I'm like, you're like a fucking kid. Like, what the fuck?
I wonder if they think the same thing about us, though, right? Like,
Maybe.
because everybody puts their best foot forward, I think, when they're dating, right? And then when it becomes more than that, like, oh, let's move in or let's get married, that's when like things start to change a little bit, I think.
Right.
It's always been that way. I feel like men feel the same way about women in that way.
I think so. I think so. And again, I'm in a relationship, right? And it's a healthy relationship. And I think that it's working and it's not dysfunctional because we have been friends. This year, I have known him for 10 years. So all of that best foot forward stuff kind of happened 10 years ago. And we have always been ourselves with each other the entire time through. So, I mean, there is a dramatic change, which I highly doubt will happen with him. Like, I've already known him, and I see, like where he feels he struggles and it doesn't, it's not a bother to me, and whatever. And I know he's seen where I'm struggling because again, I'm like verbal vomit. Like I'm going to just say how I feel and what I think and, whatever. And he still seems to want to talk to me.
Well, that is a good sign, of course. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just kind of happened. And, I wish that could happen for everybody, but, sometimes, you just have to, I don't know, like, I feel very lucky, I guess I'm saying, I feel very fortunate.
Well, that's good. I mean, and that's good. Here's the thing. I don't have any friends that are single that, are available that I'm interested in.
Right.
So I don't know, like I'd almost have to start over I would love to have a friendship first. You know what I mean? Because maybe
that's where you start, like just looking for a friend, like I think that's a good place to start, Yeah. I mean, not so much looking into dating, like anybody that you have talked to and has shown interest, be upfront. I just want to start out as friends, like, and everything will fall into place. And I think the right person would respect that. Right. And, and I think that if you put yourself in that mindset, it might be easier to then start, like, I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself too.
Yeah.
Honestly, like.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I do have some reservations because of the things that were said to me out of anger, right? And I know that they're not true. But some of the ways that I have failed my ex-husband, right? I am very conscious of. I've stewed on them for a year, you know what I mean? And I am very self-conscious and I think those are blocks that are going to be in my way until I get over it, So again,
I agree.
I have to stop overthinking. I have to go about getting my confidence back. And I just have to work on it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be good to anyone if I have no confidence. I'm always waiting for the bottom to drop out. No, you're not. Right. And that I'm always thinking they're judging me the same way and again, my ex-husband didn't judge me for 30 years. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is in the heat of the divorce, there were a lot of things said that really like stuck with me.
Right.
And I
mean, even the small things and through the marriage,
Yes.
Yeah. It's, and I agree. Like, I mean, even the relationship I'm in, like I had to, when we decided to date, and I then start overthinking things. Well, what if this happens? And what if that, then I had to actually like stop myself and like, okay, you have known him this long. Has he ever acted that way? And the answer is no. So then I'm like, okay, Terri, this is a you thing. So you need to stop projecting what your ex did or what the last guy did onto him, because he's never done this. It's not fair to him. I'm not being fair to him.
Right.
So I am always working on myself, and always trying to not overthink things. And and I am overthinking things now on something because I feel like there's a part of me not being my true self because I'm afraid of things falling apart. And I'm trying not to do that. And, and part of the thing that I'm overthinking is like, I don't want to assume to know what he's thinking or what he's going to say, because that was always done to me in my marriage and I hated it. Right. So that's why I'm more of a verbal vomit person. Like,
So now communication is everything.
Right. Communication's everything. So good or bad, tell me.
Right. So what on this time around, so after your marriage, what did you refuse to tolerate?
I refused to tolerate being talked down to. I refused to tolerate, refuse to tolerate anything that's negative. I don't want negativity in my life. I don't want negativity in my relationship. Yes. Things will not always be, even this relationship I'm in, things may, we may have an off day. We may have an off time where, I get on his nerves or he gets on my nerves and, and that's okay. Like I just, just because we have an off day, I refuse to tolerate, the negative thoughts about all of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. It absolutely does. I get that.
And I refuse to tolerate, to tolerate what society expects in a relationship. Again, I'm not getting married again. I'm not going to live with anybody again. But I refuse to tolerate other people's perceptions being pushed on me.
Oh, agree. Agree. Yeah. No, I totally get it.
Right. And, are there any boundaries that you held when you were younger that you wouldn't have or you won't do now, do you think, in your future?
Boundaries. I feel like when I was younger, I didn't have very many boundaries. I was young. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was part of my problem. Like I didn't set boundaries. I feel like this time around, if I do date, I mean, when I am going to have boundaries everywhere. And I love the things that you are saying, because I think I was never really good at communicating the boundaries.
I wasn't either.
And I don't mean just with my ex-husband. I think
everywhere.
Like it was easier for me. I had another serious relationship right before I got married with my ex-husband. And I think it was easier for me to run away from that than to communicate what was not working. I'm definitely not doing that this time. But again, as we talked about it, I'm not, the objective is not the same, right? Like I'm not looking for my next husband. I am not, I don't see myself getting married again either. But again, I'm only a year in, I'm only 4 months divorced. You know what I mean? I might change my mind, I suppose, but like, I can't imagine that right now. Now, well, I don't even want to I did meet somebody in Boston. I'm just going to say this, who was lovely. We had great conversation. We danced a little. It was great. But I didn't want to give him my number. I don't even want him to expect me to, it's almost too much for me to commit to texting you back. And I don't want to hurt his feelings when I don't text him back. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I am all for I don't know. I'm all over the place, I realize, but I
Right.
also like, I'm all for having a good time and like building friendships, but like
Yes.
where the texting back thing's an important distinction, I feel, because the person that gets mad when you don't text them back in a timely manner is
They're
the
not
person
the right
that
person.
they're expecting a relationship with you. They want all of your attention.
They
To me,
didn't
that
listen
is-
to you to start out with when you said, I
Right.
want just a friendship.
Right. And so I am not the one, right? Like at
Right.
now, that is not where I want to be. And the thought of being tied to that, and maybe because I haven't met the one, right?
Right.
But the thought of being tied to that just doesn't sound appealing to me.
No. And again, I think that it's good for you in this moment because, again, you're still going through the selling of your house. You haven't landed in your own space yet completely. So, but I do feel that, it's good for you to get out and meet people and start friendships because then when you do land in your space and you are ready to move forward, you already built up some relationships maybe that could possibly turn into something.
But also, I don't want anybody expecting that that's where this is going.
Right. No,
You know what
and
I'm
then
saying?
it might not. No, and I'm not saying start friendships telling them that it could expect that. Just and which you have done. And I just want you to be open because I think you do deserve a relationship that with somebody who is there for you, who can be your sounding board, who you can be their sounding board and whatever, and potentially move into something that you want it to move into. But it has to start with the friendship. It has to start with, and that's where I think you are at, like just starting to build new friendships.
Yes.
And those
which I wasn't at. I mean, that's progress for me.
Right.
Just to say I'm open to having conversations. But also I don't want anybody to think, oh, this is going somewhere. I'm leading them on. I'm
And
whatever.
Well, and again, here comes the verbal vomit. I think that the more open you are about your boundaries, hey, I'm just looking literally to look for friends. I haven't landed where I need to be. I am not settled in my new life. And until I'm settled in my new life, I just want to be friends. So if you're looking for something more, then this isn't it. I just want to be friends. And I think the guys that are truly interested in just making a connection, just a simple connection, will be okay with it. And the guys that aren't, they'll believe me, they'll walk away because that's just,
they're looking for something else.
They're looking for something else,
Yeah, I think you hit on it though, right? Because I am still living in the house that we shared together and I cannot, I'm stuck in this world. You know what I mean? When I say I met somebody in Boston, I got out of this world.
You were not in that world, right?
Right. And, I just came back from New York. Not that I, met anybody there, but when I'm not in this house, I do feel more free, right? Like we talked about the freedom of decisions and all of that. But as I'm sitting in this house on a day-to-day, I still feel connected. And I have to get rid of that. And so I don't even feel like these relations, even forming a friendship is going to work for me until I get out of this house.
Right.
So.
I mean, it is, you'll move. It'll happen when you want it to happen, it'll happen naturally. And that's how it should happen organically. It really should happen organically.
Right.
And because, there are no benefits. When a woman feels pressured to get back out there, there's no benefits because you feel pressured, you feel, and it's happening under pressure. So you don't want that at all. I just, you are any guy that ends up having you in their life is a very lucky guy.
Oh, you're so
and
nice.
Well, I mean, it is true. And I just want that type of that reciprocated back to you by the right person, you know? So, so let's, talk about, different paths, the tension between the paths, right? Because both paths are valid. They exist in the same kind of, conversation. One woman could choose love again. Another one chooses herself. Neither one is wrong. I just want people to understand that, our listeners to understand that. Again, I keep saying I am not getting married again. Right. I know women my age who have dated and gotten remarried again, and that good for them. Just because I don't want to doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, or I look at it as a bad thing. You know, I don't look down upon, like, you do you. The point is, you know, I want people and women should feel comfortable and happy about their decisions.
Right. And but let's be honest, like that your choice, your path could change as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Like you know, the same woman could have the same path just at different seasons of their life. You know, so
right. And a woman saying that they don't want to get married, maybe meet somebody and then something happens and they get married. It's not me, but I'm just saying that it's, you know, you never know.
Keep saying that, but you might change your mind. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I am not. I'm just trying to say that, you know, just because you're making these decisions now, like yourself, who like, no, I'm not, I don't want anything. I don't want anybody. I'm just saying that it can change, you know, and whatnot. I am still not getting married though. I just don't feel, my personal opinion, like, I don't need a piece of paper to be in a healthy, good relationship.
Agree. And then undoing it all, it just that costs so much money. It's so unnecessary. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah. But I mean, it is good for other people. Great. You know, that's great for you. Like, and I'm happy, and I am very sincerely happy for them. You know, it's just not me. So that's, you know. I agree. But it's funny how society will distrust a woman who opts out of romance. Don't you think?
It's so true.
I think it's sad.
It's so true. And like, almost like you could be judged by the opposite sex too. If you say this is my boundary, like there's so much judgment that comes with that.
So much judgment.
You know, it's ridiculous, and you just have to not care. You know,
right? Exactly. You just have to not care about what other people think.
Well,
and as I get older, it's easier for me as I get older to give a fuck.
Sure. Oh God, this is what I love. This is what I love about our 50s is like I do not care club. Right? You see that all over the place. I know. Yes. It's like I love it. I love every minute of it. But you know, also society says that women that are in healthy relationships, you know, are lucky. You know what I mean? And well, what about? Aren't I lucky because I'm successful in other ways? Maybe, you know what I mean? Or is this not, because it's not the norm? I'm not as lucky as the person that's in this great relationship.
Right. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, like, again, going back to my, like, we became like, we both worked on that friendship. Like, it's not like it just fell into my lap, you know, like where I got lucky, you know, like there was work on that friendship to begin with. So all relationships are work. I don't feel like anybody just gets lucky.
No, I don't. I agree. With you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is, yeah.
So, let me see. Why is single peace so threatening to people though? You know what I mean? Like I have peace because I'm single now.
Right.
But I do get people that are trying to set me up still. You know what I mean? Like oh my gosh, you have to be miserable. But I don't know. I don't get it.
Right. Well, I feel like people automatically think that, like they feel like you should have somebody and whatever. I know, you know, when we were at that party, like, I'm just like, yeah, let's go meet this guy. Only because you had brought him up a few times. So that I'm just like, hey, maybe she's interested. But you know, I'm not, you know,
I forgot.
If you don't want to, I didn't. You kept bringing him up over and over. I'm like, let's go.
Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. But I mean, I don't know why people are threatened by it. I mean, and I feel your closest friends, Sandi, like, that I think we just want you to be happy, like you've gone through so much. And I feel like the closest people in my life, like they just want me to be happy.
Yeah.
And whatever.
It's true.
It depends on like who it's coming from. I don't know that they necessarily feel threatened. It's just, we want to see you happy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. I guess I get that. Yeah, it just feels, I think when you're in it, it feels a little like overwhelming. Like I'm good. I'm good. I'm content. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm good. And then all of that'll happen in my future, I'm sure. But then I do have times, and this is why I know I'm becoming more open to it. I do have times when I'm like, yeah, I mean, he might be fun to hang out with, right? But I still like hanging out with him. It does not mean taking him home and having sex with him.
No. See, and that's where I'm saying you have to stop thinking that way, because it shouldn't. If you stay in the mindset of, I just want to be friends, and you say that, if there is a person that you're thinking of respects that, and, and if he could potentially be the right guy to date, and I'm not even saying long-term, just go on a date with eventually, then he will have the patience or the willingness to say, yeah, let's just be friends. We'll hang out whenever. We'll talk. Like, even if it's just talking on the phone and not even going out and doing anything together, at least, there's some form of communication going on, But if that's, that'll be the right person to consider going on a date with.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's good advice. Absolutely.
It's your turn. Let's hear what you have to say.
All right, well, let's turn it to everybody else. Like, let's stop talking about us.
Enough of us. Yeah, enough about us.
So our roadies out there who are single after many years of being in a relationship, whether it's marriage or just living with somebody, or you're a widow, or, whatever the case may be, are you open to dating again? Or are you more about protecting your peace at all costs? What scares you more, being alone or choosing the wrong person again? And what season are you in? With no judgment, like, let us know. Like, there is no judgment.
Right, because let's be honest, you don't have to justify your answer. No. Awareness of your answer is enough.
Yeah, so. You don't have to justify any of your answers. I don't have to justify why I'm not, going to get remarried again. And believe me, I have people in my life, brother-in-law, who keeps going on about I should be remarried, and you're gonna get, is this what? And like, no, I am not getting remarried again.
Right.
Like, understand this, and I don't need to tell you why.
It's the thing to do, right?
It's the thing to do. Like, that's what we were all raised on. You meet somebody, you fall in love, you get married. No. Yeah. You can do the first two without having to do the third.
For sure.
That's
for sure.
So
moving on to rule of the week.
Yes. What is it?
And now it's time for the rule of the week.
All right. The rule of the week this week. You don't owe the world a relationship timeline, Sandi. You don't owe the world a relationship timeline.
I know. And now I'm learning you don't have to date just because you're supposed to, and you don't have to opt out forever either. So there is... there is no rule here.
Right. That's the biggest thing I wanted to get across to you. You don't have to opt out forever. Like,
right. And I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying I am not ready. So,
I mean, the only rule is honesty, mostly with yourself. Like, if you're honest with yourself, then it's easy to be honest with the people that you might want to talk to.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Some women are reopening their hearts, and some women are locking the door and resting, taking it slow.
Yes.
Right.
Both are forms of healing. Both are valid, and neither require an explanation.
That is true. True. So, ladies, if you're out there thinking about dating, share your experiences with us, as we have, started to share here. I finally got Sandi to talk a whole episode about possibly.
Oh my
dating.
God, I can't even believe it. Well, that's progress, right?
It is progress. I'm like, pat on the back for both of us on that one. But this isn't the last one. So we'll talk about sex soon.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye,
You're my
roadies.
bestie for life.